The mighty Arsenal. Come on, you Reds. A big win yesterday, 6-0 win against Sevilla yesterday at the Emirates in what was their final pre-season match. The fan base, I can tell you for a fact, have gone absolutely to overdrive in terms of excitement about not only Gabriel Jesus, and he's had a brilliant pre-season, I think 7 goals in 6 games. He's done a brilliant pre-season so far, but just generally about where this team could finish. I think the fan base who are talking about third minimum, I think it's a little bit of a stretch, but I like the ambition.
Yeah. But
I definitely think there's levels, there's reason to be excited. I think there's been a decent amount of players coming in. We're seeing some players.
How's Vieira done? Has he played many games?
He's not played yet. No, he's had an injury.
Oh, okay.
He's had an injury.
So I didn't know if he'd played.
I think he's back in training next week, apparently.
Right.
But how do you feel Arsenal are suited to doing this season? And what I asked you about United earlier on. What's a good year for Arsenal? What has to be? What has to happen for it to be deemed a good season for Arsenal?
Well, Champions League is a big, part of their season. If they got to make it, they've invested so much money to be a Champions League team year in, year out, and the age of the squad is very important. Also, Jordan, I would add that one of Arteta's biggest achievements at the football club is getting rid or out the door every player who thought they were doing Arsenal a favour wearing the shirt. Mm-hmm. I think that he's done brilliant. The pathway to how he got to where he is now, well, every one of these signings and all these players, this is now his team. They all have a hunger and desire to work their socks off. And I think that's a massive thing for Arsenal and for their fans at the club, knowing they are starting to trust this team, where there was so long Arsenal had teams that their fan base didn't trust to be regular winners week in, week out. I think Arteta's one of his, or the number one achievement he's done at the club. Completely changed the culture of that football club.
Yeah. Players
who want to play for the Arsenal, first and foremost, which I think has made a massive difference to them.
I think your point about the kind of the desire there is really important. I think one of the most important things I'm looking at this season for Arsenal is work rate and work ethic.
Yeah.
They haven't got the players of a City or of a Liverpool, but what they can do, which I'm hoping Arteta does do, is make sure they work as hard as Liverpool and City. With all the praise those two teams get for their great football, great defending and individual players, they just work harder than everybody else. And I want to see my team this year, Arsenal, just outwork everybody. Win or lose, we've outworked everybody. And I think with people like Zinchenko and definitely Gabriel Jesus coming in, I'm seeing already that there's definitely this trigger point. It's only pre-season. I don't want to get too ahead of myself.
Yeah.
But I think Gabriel Jesus is making me think actually he will be the trigger point for make sure that every single person presses, works, runs, tracks back and gives everything for 90 minutes in every game. Not just the big games, in every single game. And that's given me a little bit of hope that they can get a top 4 spot and maybe a trophy this year as well. Because before we've turned it on in some games and we've been better than other teams. We win that way. This year I want to just see every single game we play, win or lose. I watch my team and say, they worked hard.
Well,
that team had to really earn
absolutely.
their win.
and you can add to that as a manager that Arteta is, his team is a reflection of him, and he's put a lot of hard work to get this team together. And what you're going to see on the football pitch, I believe, is going to be way different from what you've seen in the last 2 or 3 years. And they have enough quality players as well. There's a lot of good footballers at Arsenal. I like Odegaard. I told you off air about Odegaard. I think he's a terrific footballer. And, if he can rise a little bit more, brilliant. If you can see Smith Rowe get more games and come in, if you add in the likes of, Tierney, that I think is a great left back and can be a wing back, they've got a lot of good things going for them. And if he's now got his team close to as damn it as he wanted, they're a good side.
I still think they're a midfielder short. I still think between now and when they're closing, I think they need a midfielder in. If they can get him in, and Tielemans is the one that's been talked about. I like him. If we signed him, that's not a bad signing. But I think we need a different type of midfield. I think we need someone that's a little bit ball playing, but with a bit of bite about them. My friends who support Arsenal laugh at me. I would love to see us go for Wijnaldum at PSG. He wants out. I know he's old, but I think we need some senior players.
He's 31, so he's not old.
Well,
I think he's 31.
I don't think he's that old either. But
I know I loved him as a Liverpool fan. Loved him. thought he was fantastic for Liverpool. I was gutted when he left because I know he went to PSG, but I thought he was a terrific player. Yeah. When he left in that final season, he was up there with one of Liverpool's players of the season.
He was.
And yes, it didn't go well at PSG.
I'd love to bring him in.
I think it's actually a really good, intelligent shout of someone that isn't 34, 35,
But he's not a kid either. And I think he's won things. I think his short passing's good. He's got a great mentality. He works hard.
Difficult to assess players at PSG.
That is true.
Really difficult to assess them because it's a very odd club in many ways.
It is. Arsenal opening the Premier League season with their game at Crystal Palace, and that will be live on talkSPORT next Friday.